I've found myself saying, that machine looks sexy, or isn't that a beautiful design? Whether you love cars or art or whatever it is in the world that you appreciate, the same thing can apply to technology and computers.
We're about to go visit Sid Bolton, who runs a personal computer museum out of his home because he's been collecting vintage computers for over 25 years. So we're going to go meet Sid, and he's going to show us around. Hi, Sid.
Yes, how
Nice
are you?
to meet you. I'm
Nice
doing
to meet you
quite
too.
well. There's a lot of computers in here. So where do we start?
Okay, well, we've got the history of personal computers starting from about 1976 up to about 2001 or so. It's not hoarding if you keep it organized. That's how I feel. We are up to about 1,000 computers. We're pushing well over 50,000 artifacts now. Even if it's a Commodore 64 and I have 80 of them, but it's the 81st one, then it doesn't matter because again, it's a Commodore 64, you know?
Can you tell me about when you started putting this collection together?
So when I was 16, I saw the first wave of people dumping technology. So at that moment I thought, you know what? I'm gonna hang on to this stuff. If somebody's throwing it away, I will rescue it. It wasn't until 2005 that I was able to actually put everything together into the computer museum that you see today.
Why do you think that feeling of nostalgia around machines or computers is such a powerful thing?
To me, it's like a time machine. It really does take people back. What I love is when people come here and they're able to relive a part of their childhood, something that was a very positive thing for them. I love hearing those stories. So this is the Commodore 64. This is the most prolific computing device ever created, having sold somewhere, most estimates put it around 20 million units. And this really, in my mind, is sort of what made video games and computers inseparable. I think our reliance on technology has increased dramatically. Computers, instead of just being something that we had and everybody huddled around this amazing box that did something incredible, now computers have worked their way into everything. I actually one time sort of went through how many CPUs that I encountered in a regular regime, and it started out at a urinal. And there's a computer, a microprocessor at the urinal. So I'm thinking to myself, this is incredible. Like everything we're doing now involves a microprocessor. Your phone has more power than everything in here, has more power than the technology that took our astronauts to space and to the moon. It's pretty humbling. So this is the Apple Lisa. And the Lisa was the precursor to the Macintosh. It was the machine that Steve Jobs helped launch. It was named after his daughter. So this is the first personal computer that used a mouse. And It's quite interesting because in the tutorial, the comments are made, you know, the mouse is a little unusual to get used to at first, but trust us, it's worth it. But this was $10,000 US at the time of its release, as you see it sitting here without software. And that equates today in Canadian funds, if you use, you know, currency conversion and inflation, to about $27,000. Older technology is not necessarily junk. You can still have fun with these old computers. There's nothing else in our world that's changing more rapidly than technology. I think it's important for us to preserve it. It's like wildlife, you know, if someone doesn't step up and take the time to preserve and understand and educate people about these machines, we'll lose the history of all that stuff forever. And I think that's a tragedy.